Hello everyone. Welcome to my channel BBTechHub. So you all know now, right now I am going through the CCNA series, and in this CCNA series right now I am an OSI track, and in the OSI track I am covering the transport layer. In the last video I actually started the transport layer, but frankly transport layer is a so big concept that it is not possible to complete in one video. That's why today also I am going to extend this topic. Okay. So in the previous video, I told you okay, what are the prime responsibilities of this transport layer. I cannot say the responsibilities. These are the what are the guidelines are mentioned over there. So there in the last video, I discussed about you that what is the segmentation, what is reassembling, what is sequencing, like that. And in this video I'm going for the topic, not topic, the point, that is the connection control. This is also very important concept in networking. You have heard the word TCP, so right now today I will describe what is TCP actually. What happens in the transport layer, what happens, there is a connection is created between the sender and receiver. Why? That is a very big question, why we need this connection. The thing is that in this layer, what happens in the internet, if you see the who that is a client, a user is sitting in the client side and try to access a server. Nice, not an issue. In between our internet is there, good. Client is ready with the request and server is ready with the service, not an issue. The question is that who is going to establish the connectivity? We need the connection. We need the controlling of connection. So how it happens? So it happens in the transport layer by using the two concept. One is called the connection oriented service, another called the connection less service. So here we will know what is connection oriented and what is connection less. Actually what happens while the establishing the connectivity between the two devices, and we are going to transfer the data over that connectivity, then what type of response a sender is getting depends on that. We can say what is connection oriented and what is connection less. What is connection oriented? Actually what happens in the connection oriented concept, there is a dedicated physical path is established between sender and receiver before transmitting the data. And once that path is established, then only data communication starts, and whole data will pass through that same path. Is it clear? This is called the connection oriented. And what happened, in this connection oriented, the moment communication is over, the path is terminated. And this type of communication gives the guaranteed of communication, delivery of packets. Why? Because this type of connectivity provides an acknowledgement whether the data has been received or not. So you tell me, is it good or not? Because the sender is getting the acknowledgement from the receiver that data has been successfully received or not. So the moment sender will come to know the status of the data delivery, it can go for the further action. In this connection oriented service, TCP is the protocol, that is transmission control protocol, is responsible for connection oriented service, and we call it as reliable. Why it is reliable? Because unless until knowing the status of the delivery of the data, sender will not take the next step for transmitting the data. So that's why in the networking field, this is very much useful communication, that is connection oriented service. It happens in the transport layer done by the TCP. Then what is connectionless? Connectionless means what? The data packet will start the journey. Is it? And wherever it will get the path over the internet, it will just forward the data packet. Is it? So what it may happen? It may get a clear path toward the destination. So well and good, data will be delivered very fastly. But if there is a congestion, then data may be get delayed to transfer also. It may happen. So in this connectionless communication or service, there is a no guarantee of data delivery. Is it clear? Whether data will be received by the receiver or not, it is not guaranteed. That's why in the communication technology, we consider it as the unreliable communication, because there is no acknowledgement is received by the sender, which is transmitted by the receiver. Is it clear? So which protocol we are using? We are using the UDP. So TCP and UDP, big brother and small brother. These two brothers control the total communication process in the transport layer. TCP is reliable. We say it's a good boy, and UDP is unreliable. We cannot say the bad boy because it gives a faster communication. Is it clear? So now we will see the what is the difference between the TCP and UDP. So of course, TCP is a current connection oriented protocol, and the protocol number is 6, and UDP the protocol number is 17. TCP wait for the path establishment. Unless until confirming the path from source to destination, it will not start the communication. So it may get delayed. But what happens in case of the UDP? UDP just start the communication. UDP can take the risk. UDP can say, don't worry, I am starting my journey. Wherever I will get the way, I will move towards the destination. But TCP never takes the risk. That's why whenever we need the reliable communication, of course, TCP is used. And the services which does not need any secured communication, that is not, cannot say the secured also, sorry. That communication, the services which need the delivery of data, no need of acknowledgement, that type of services uses UDP. Is it clear? So do you want to see? I can show you. Let us see where you can see this thing. I can go to system 32. In the system 32, you can see that is the drivers. Go to the ETC, and here you can go to the services. Okay. And you open it with the notepad and you see what happens. Can you see? That is the service name. That is all our application layer protocol. And you can see the protocol it is using, either TCP or UDP. Am I clear? You can see Telnet, FTP, all are TCP based service. Okay. Hello everyone, and you can see there is DHCP, it is an UDP based service. DNS is using both the service TCP and UDP. So you have seen how to find it. Okay, so now coming to our point. So in the networking field, TCP provides a slower communication, UDP provides a faster communication. TCP provides the guarantee of delivery of data packets, but UDP cannot guarantee of data packets. Is it? TCP is reliable because it gives an acknowledgement, whether UDP does not provide any acknowledgement. That's why we call it as unreliable. Fine. So everyone, you understood? So this is called the, so it happens in the transport layer. That means, my dear, what happens? I want to show you. In the what is the application layer protocol who are provided the services, like whether it is DNS, it is DHCP, it is HTTP, every protocol rely on either TCP or UDP. Am I clear? Like DNS is rely on TCP and UDP both. DHCP rely on UDP, HTTP rely on TCP. So have you seen every service is dependent on transport layer? So don't you think it is very important layer? Okay, now see how important it is. More you can understand when I will go for the next point. So next point is coming nothing but my service point addressing. What is service point addressing? So here is also nice thing you have to understand. We run several sites over here. We can open the email. We can go for the file transfer. Yes, we can go for the remote login. Several services we are doing. Yes or no? But we are doing under the single IP. Am I clear? That means my single IP address is able to provide me so many services at a time. And you observe one thing, never this service get confused. You never seen that the email will go to the file service is going to the email service. So how it is happening? So what happens in the networking when two devices are communicating with each other? Of course, they are having the IP address. Is it clear? But under a single IP, every device can run multiple processes, multiple services. So that is the reason what happens for the unique identity. Every process is identified by unique number, and that is called as my port number. Am I clear, everybody? And of course, it happens at transport layer. So what is the port number or port address? Actually, every process, a computer can run multiple processes at a time, and every process is uniquely identified by an address. That address is called as port address. Is it? And this port address is of 16 bits. Please everybody remember. So when it is bits, of course my base will be 2. So 2 to the power 16 is 65,536, means 0 to 65,535. So in the world, we are having 65,536 port addresses available. Am I clear? You can see I have written that computer can run multiple processes, and every process is identified by unique number. And do you know this is the reason why we call the transport layer is responsible for process to process delivery. What happens? It responsible for process to process, because in my computer, if a process is going on and I am connecting to another computer corresponding to same process, the communication will take place. Never, I told you in the OSI also, there is never cross layer communication is there. Is it clear? So that is why transport layer is another name we call as the process to process delivery of data. Now you see these port are how many types? There are 3 types of port. Well-known port, that is 021023. Then go for the registered port number 1024, and then is the dynamic port, that is 491522655535. Now what is well-known port? Actually these are the common service port. What are the services are actually running on that you have learned? There are several protocols in the application layer. Those application layer is using all this port number. Okay. And these are nothing but called as the well-known port. Do you want to see? I can show you. See everybody what happens. Service, application layer protocol, port number, that is the your layer 4 transport layer, and along with the protocol. Is it? So if you go in depth, so you can understand how communication take place. You see, suppose my service is web access. I want to access a website. I need a protocol HTTP. This is nothing but my application layer protocol. This protocol is saying I need a TCP because HTTP is a reliable communication. Good. So now it is asking I need a identification number, service number. So port number is 80. Is it clear? Same way, if you go for the DHCP is saying I want UDP, and it is taking to port number 67 and 68. Is it clear? I want the FTP. FTP is TCP based, and the port number is 20 and 21. So have you observed all our application layer protocol used for services? They are getting connected but either TCP or UDP, and every service is uniquely identified by a port number, that is we call it the port number. Am I clear? Understood? Now the question is that who is carrying the data? So the data is carried by our master protocol, that is called the IP. Am I clear? This is the communication architecture which happens in internet. We users or clients are requesting for services where application layer is working. When the connectivity is establishing that the transport layers TCP UDP is in picture, then for identifying the particular service under a particular IP address, who is working, the port number is working. But who is there? Who is the transporter? Who is saying, don't worry, I will carry the data? That is our master. That is IP. Am I clear? This is the exact communication type what happens in our internet. Fine. Now, yeah, if I go for the registered port, these are the services which need sometimes specific port. Is it clear? And at that time, we need to request to the IANA for that port. And last is the dynamic port. It is called as private port. It is used for temporary connection. These are not registered or assigned, so can be used by any process. Am I clear? So today's topic, I have covered two vital points of your transport layer. What are those? One is the connection service, another that is connection control, another is your service point addressing or port addressing. So I think you people are enjoying the series. I think so. So of course I need a feedback from your side. Kindly put a comment in the comment box so that I can understand whether you were getting the subject or not. Okay, so again I am repeating, if you are having any query, put the question within 24 hours, I will reply that. Thank you.